So should I book an Airbnb or should I book a hotel? Like, that is the question. Good evening, everybody. This is Shalise with Autistic Travel Goddess, and today I'm going to be talking to you guys about Airbnb versus hotels and what is best for your situation, how to decide which option is better for you. Airbnb. So Airbnb they have a bigger variety of places, vacation homes, apartments, condos you can rent, as well as some mom and pops hotels. Airbnb is better if you're in a group because a lot of times they don't charge you per person. You get charged, just for the space that you're going to rent. You can get a whole house with, multiple rooms and the whole group, and it actually turns out cheaper than booking multiple hotel rooms. So that's a pro with Airbnb. Something else to consider with Airbnb is it depends on the location as far as price goes. It depends, because sometimes depending on where you're at, like if you're in a super rural area, Airbnb sometimes can actually be comparable in price to hotels. So you want to keep that in mind as well. And Airbnbs are also better for longer stays. If you want to cook your own meals, if you want to have more of a homey feel, have your own laundry room, then an Airbnb may actually be a better option for you. You can book a whole place to yourself. You can book a whole apartment. You can book an entire vacation home with Airbnb. And it also has more of a privacy effect than hotels would as well. And it has more of that flexibility that a lot of travelers like and enjoy. And I find something else you want to keep in mind too when it comes to the price of an Airbnb is sometimes, especially if you're in a really, really hot touristy spot like Iceland, sometimes it's double posting. So you'll see a hotel that's listed on Airbnb, and then you'll also see it listed on a third-party site like Booking or Expedia.com. And sometimes the pricing can be different depending on what platform they booked it on. Long story short, I went to Iceland several years ago, and I booked this hotel, and I actually booked it on Booking.com. It was a spa hotel, and it was really comfortable and nice and quiet there. I saw the same hotel on Airbnb listed for like twice as much as I paid for it on Expedia and Booking.com. So you might want to keep that in mind too. So if you see a deal like that, make sure that you're getting the best deal and that you're not overpaying just because of the platform that it's on. So with hotels, if you're a fan of that standardized travel experience where things are guaranteed, there's a set procedure for checking in and the standard features and, everything else like that. And if you're a fan of not taking many risks and you just prefer everything to just be traditional, then I suggest a hotel is the way to go for the travelers who don't want to venture out too much into the unknown. So the thing with hotels is that they also have these rewards programs that tend to be, you build up enough rewards points and then you get free nights, you can earn perks and things like that, travel perks. So that's something else that may be helpful for those of you who choose to do hotels. Sometimes you will get a better deal if you're a member of a corporation or you work for a corporation and you get a corporate deal. Sometimes those corporate deals are actually better off those are a better deal than Airbnb. And another thing with hotels is they're more guaranteed as far as the features, the check-in procedures, and you're guaranteed to know what you're going to get, because sometimes with Airbnb, there's a hit or miss depending on what Airbnb you get. Sometimes it's not always what it appears to be online. So at least with a hotel, you have that guarantee and you have that comfort mind in your mind that you're going to get pretty much what you expect to get. Something else I would suggest too with hotels, if you're staying in an urban area or traveling to an urban area, you actually get better deals on hotels a lot of the times than Airbnbs. And so I suggest that may be a better option for those of you who are traveling to an urban area. And also, like I said, rewards programs are the best. Like sometimes you can rack up some really good deals and good rates, and sometimes the points can go toward flights as well. So that's something else you might want to look into if you choose to do a hotel. So which one is safer? I get a lot of questions about whether Airbnb is safe and legitimate, and I would say that they can be very safe. They can be just as safe as hotels. Some things I want you to check for are, will you be rooming with other people? Will the owner be residing in the same home or staying in the same home as you'll be renting, or will you have the whole place to yourself? Also check and see, if there are animals there, if there are security cameras there, the check-in process, if there's a key within, if they're going to leave the key inside of a lock, or will they be there to check you in? How often will they have access to the property while you're there? These are things to keep in mind as well if you choose to do Airbnb, because I find from personal experience it's best to choose an Airbnb to yourself because you get more privacy and it's more comfortable than choosing an Airbnb where you're sharing it with other guests or if the other person's living in the Airbnb. So from all of my experiences, I've chosen things like condos. I've rented a condo in Vancouver years ago and had a lot of privacy that way. And I had a lot more options as far as the kitchen, the bathroom, and the laundry, the in-unit laundry. And so I felt like I got a lot of bang for my buck with that one. Not only that, but I got a lot of privacy because the building itself was secure. The condo that I was in was very secure, so that made me feel really safe. I've heard horror stories about Airbnb owners, installing hidden cameras, and then some of the owners are just rude or, disrespectful or having racial tensions with the guests. I've heard horror stories like that, so you want to be mindful of that and check the ratings when you book an Airbnb, check the reviews. And honestly, if you see any negative review, don't even give it a chance if you see a negative review. That's just my personal standpoint, because usually when I see a super negative review, that tells me a lot about what to expect. And so I don't tend to take chances with that. So Airbnb definitely has its moments where it's not safe. Like, it's definitely some cons to an Airbnb, but if you're smart about how you choose the Airbnb, it can be just as safe as a hotel. Price-wise, is an Airbnb always cheaper? So I get this question a lot, and actually it's not always cheaper. Sometimes it actually exceeds the cost of a hotel room. So long story short, I believe I told y'all about the time I was in Iceland and I saw the hotel that I booked, double booked on booking.com and Airbnb, and it was actually more expensive on Airbnb. And I'm guessing it's because of the processing fees that the host has to pay out whenever they put these things on the platform. But it's not always cheaper to book an Airbnb. Sometimes you actually get a better deal on a hotel, like because of rewards points, and sometimes they're having a special or a promotion. So I would say check your odds, check your options whenever you're booking. Like, make sure there's no promotion you're missing out on with a hotel, or if there's no promotion going on with Airbnb, or I would definitely say double check, because sometimes the prices are very, very comparable, if not sometimes more with the Airbnb. So that is a myth. What types of properties can you rent on Airbnb? There's all kinds of unique properties. Like, scroll down the site and you'll see all kind of crazy things. Like, I've seen tree houses, vacation homes, tents on Airbnbs. There's actually camping sites. I've even seen things like the tiny homes being rented. You can rent fancy condos, a whole house. Like, the sky's the limit when it comes to what you can rent on Airbnb. I've even seen vans being featured on Airbnb for rental spaces, vans and RVs that are decorated really cute and adorable. So the sky's the limit, and I would definitely say that Airbnb has more of that variety factor and that uniqueness factor than the hotels. And hotels are definitely more, even though hotels are nice as well, they're definitely more standardized, and you don't have as many of those options as you do with Airbnb. So again, it all depends on what you feel comfortable with and what is for you and what kind of adventure you're interested in going on. So today, I hopefully have answered some questions and clarified some things with Airbnbs versus hotels, and I've hoped to have given you guys some insight as to what may be a better option for you, and depending on your location, your budget, and your preference, your travel style. I hope that this information that I've given you guys and these suggestions have helped you all. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys later.